Read this powerful psalm before you sleep and watch what happens. Psalm 18. Verse 1. I will love you, O Lord, my strength. Verse 2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My God, my strength, in whom I will trust. My shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Verse 3. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. Verse 4. The pangs of death surrounded me, and the floods of ungodliness made me afraid. Verse 5. The sorrows of Sheol surrounded me. The snares of death confronted me. Verse 6. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried out to my God. He heard my voice from his temple, and my cry came before him even to his ears. Verse 7. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of the hills also quaked and were shaken, because he was angry. Verse 8. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and devouring fire from his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. Verse 9. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, with darkness under his feet. Verse 10. And he rode upon a cherub, and flew. He flew upon the wings of the wind. Verse 11. He made darkness his secret place. His canopy around him was dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies. Verse 12. From the brightness before him, his thick clouds passed with hailstones and coals of fire. Verse 13. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. Hailstones and coals of fire. Verse 14. He sent out his arrows and scattered the foe. Lightnings in abundance, and he vanquished them. Verse 15. Then the channels of the sea were seen. The foundations of the world were uncovered. At your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. Verse 16. He sent from above, he took me. He drew me out of many waters. Verse 17. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me, for they were too strong for me. Verse 18. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. Verse 19. He also brought me out into a broad place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Verse 20. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands. He has recompensed me. Verse 21. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. Verse 22. For all of his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. Verse 23. I was also blameless before him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Verse 24. Therefore the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. Verse 25. With the merciful you will show yourself merciful. With a blameless man you will show yourself blameless. Verse 26. With the pure you will show yourself pure, and with the devious you will show yourself shrewd. Verse 27. For you will save the humble people, but will bring down haughty looks. Verse 28. For you will light my lamp. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. Verse 29. For by you I can run against a troop. By my God I can leap over a wall. Verse 30. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who trust in him. Verse 31. For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? Verse 32. It is God who arms me with strength and makes my way perfect. Verse 33. He makes my feet like the feet of deer and sets me on my high places. Verse 34. He teaches my hands to make war, so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. Verse 35. You have also given me the shield of your salvation. Your right hand has held me up. Your gentleness has made me great. Verse 36. You enlarged my path under me, so my feet did not slip. Verse 37. I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them. Neither did I turn back again till they were destroyed. Verse 38. I have wounded them, so that they could not rise. They have fallen under my feet. Verse 39. For you have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued under me those who rose up against me. Verse 40. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, so that I destroyed those who hated me. Verse 41. They cried out, but there was none to save, even to the Lord, but he did not answer them. Verse 42. Then I beat them as fine as the dust before the wind. I cast them out like dirt in the streets. Verse 43. You have delivered me from the strivings of the people. You have made me the head of the nations. A people I have not known shall serve me. Verse 44. As soon as they hear of me, they obey me. The foreigners submit to me. Verse 45. The foreigners fade away and come frightened from their hideouts. Verse 46. The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock. Let the God of my salvation be exalted. Verse 47. It is God who avenges me and subdues the peoples under me. Verse 48. He delivers me from my enemies. You also lift me up above those who rise against me. You have delivered me from the violent man. Verse 49. Therefore I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the Gentiles, and sing praises to your name. Verse 50. Great deliverance he gives to his king, and shows mercy to his anointed, to David and his descendants forevermore.
Psalm 35. Verse 1. Plead my cause, O Lord, with those who strive with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Verse 2. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for my help. Verse 3. Also draw out the spear, and stop those who pursue me. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. Verse 4. Let those be put to shame and brought to dishonor, who seek after my life. Let those be turned back and brought to confusion, who plot my hurt. Verse 5. Let them be like chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Verse 6. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord pursue them. Verse 7. For without cause they have hidden their net for me in a pit, which they have dug without cause for my life. Verse 8. Let destruction come upon him unexpectedly, and let his net that he has hidden catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. Verse 9. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. Verse 10. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like you, delivering the poor from him who is too strong for him. Yes, the poor and the needy from him who plunders him? Verse 11. Fierce witnesses rise up. They ask me things that I do not know. Verse 12. They reward me evil for good, to the sorrow of my soul. Verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled myself with fasting, and my prayer would return to my own heart. Verse 14. I paced about as though he were my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily, as one who mourns for his mother. Verse 15. But in my adversity they rejoiced, and gathered together. Attackers gathered against me, and I did not know it. They tore at me and did not cease. Verse 16. With ungodly mockers at feasts, they gnashed at me with their teeth. Verse 17. Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue me from their destructions, my precious life from the lions. Verse 18. I will give you thanks in the great assembly. I will praise you among many people. Verse 19. Let them not rejoice over me who are wrongfully my enemies, nor let them wink with the eye who hate me without a cause. Verse 20. For they do not speak peace, but they devise deceitful matters against the quiet ones in the land. Verse 21. They also opened their mouth wide against me, and said, Aha, aha! Our eyes have seen it. Verse 22. This you have seen, O Lord. Do not keep silence. O Lord, do not be far from me. Verse 23. Stir up yourself, and awake to my vindication, to my cause, my God and my Lord. Verse 24. Vindicate me, O Lord my God, according to your righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Verse 25. Let them not say in their hearts, Ah, so we would have it. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Verse 26. Let them be ashamed and brought to mutual confusion, who rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor, who exalt themselves against me. Verse 27. Let them shout for joy and be glad, who favor my righteous cause. And let them say continually, Let the Lord be magnified, who has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. Verse 28. And my tongue shall speak of your righteousness, and of your praise all the day long.
Psalm 121. Verse 1. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence comes my help? Verse 2. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Verse 3. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Verse 4. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Verse 5. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. Verse 6. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Verse 7. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. Verse 8. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore.
Psalm 4. Verse 1. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me in my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. Verse 2. How long, O you sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? Selah. Verse 3. But know that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Verse 4. Be angry, and do not sin. Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still. Selah. Verse 5. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord. Verse 6. There are many who say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift up the light of your countenance upon us. Verse 7. You have put gladness in my heart, more than in the season that their grain and wine increased. Verse 8. I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety.
May God answer you speedily as you read, meditate and pray with this psalm. Blessings and see you again on our next video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you.